ready, action. Yeah, I do it like lights, camera, ready, action. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so look, I have a little issue here, okay? You buy something, you expect it to work, you don't expect it to die within the first 2-3 months, okay? But Honda, it's legendary. They're supposed to be known for their engines, they're supposed to be known for their reliability, which they are, of course, okay? This has been around for a long time. This is the Honda HRX 217. It's a 4-in-1 versatile. It has plastic casing which doesn't rust. I mean, it's built solid. I mean, there's nothing bad about it. Okay, it's just you got the mulching here. You can go from bag to mulch. You have a thing for your thing to put your for the bag. You know, you have a nice big gas tank cap here, which is really nice. And look at now, like a straight gas. You have a shut-off valve, your filter. Okay, and what happened was I got this about a year and a half ago because they was discontinuing them and I got a good deal on them. And within the first 2 months it stopped starting. I couldn't start it. Then I called my Honda dealer where I purchased it, and they said to me that there's a recall, that the shaft is screwed up and it gets broken or it gets disaligned or something, and they would fix it. So they told me to bring it in, no problem. I brought it in. And, you know, because I know that I couldn't start it because I have an electric start, it wouldn't start. So all done and said, I brought it in within the first couple of days, and they said it could be ready in about a month or two. I said, okay. But in the meantime, I have nothing to use. So a month and two ended up being a year. And, you know, after a year, I didn't know what to do. I'm not going to go buy another machine. So I managed to pull out another machine. I'll show you that in a moment. But this is my beef with these machines. This is a very nice machine, like I said before. But to wait over a year for it to be serviced, it's not professional. And this is not one plate. It's a few plates because I call a few Honda dealers and they don't have repair technicians or they don't have enough people to do the work. Okay, and that's another story by itself. And I'm just going to go over what I don't like about this machine. Okay, first of all, I have this thing here. Look at set the throttle and your mowing speed. Okay, and this thing broke very easy. It's plastic, you know, and it just broke very easy. And I had an orange one like this over here, and it broke. So they gave me a new piece. I'll do it myself, change it. But you know, it shouldn't break like this. Okay. Another thing is, if you don't during the winter, you don't charge the battery, forget it. It's dead. It won't start. So you have to use it every time to keep the battery at its optimum level so it can start. This thing is also quite heavy to maneuver, okay? Unless you put it on self-propelled, you know, you put it down, it's self-propelled, you press this and it goes into self-propel mode, no problem. But it's very heavy, okay? I find it extremely heavy, especially when you have a bag and you're loading up the grass, and it even makes it heavier, okay? But, you know, and all in all, you have these things here that you press and you can store it very easy, which is very nice, you know, and you can put it away. But that's what it is. So that's my three little things I don't like. It gets very heavy. The mechanism is a bit flimsy, and the battery, and that's the only thing I'm not that crazy about. Okay. Another thing is, my neighbor had the same machine. Well, he said in the first 4 years, the tire gets wearing out very easily, and I noticed that you can't get these tires. They're hard to come by these days. And also a few other parts like the filters and all that, they're not readily available. I called about 4 Honda dealers, and I was only able to get it to Amazon to buy it after they sent me the filters, and it was the wrong one. It said Honda, but it wasn't the right one. So I managed to go to my local Lowe's in the States because I'm in Canada, and I found the filters at the local Lowe's for a Honda engine, and I was able to get it. It cost me about $8 or something, which is bad, not bad at all. Okay, now moving on, like I said, I had this in service for a year, and I bought it because I didn't have a lawnmower, and I had 1 or 2 lawnmowers that were broken, and I was trying to get them to go, and I needed a lawnmower right away, so I bought this. But while this went into service after the first 2 months, I managed to get my old lawnmowers going. So I'm going to go and show you what I did. So here we have a 19 1978 Lawnboy, 21-inch push lawnmower, not a self-propelled, two-cycle F-Series engine. Now, they made the F-Series from the mid-60s all the way to the late 80s till it was replaced with the Duraforce. Now, this belonged to my grandfather. He bought that at Pascal store behind his house back in 78 in Rosemont, Quebec, which is the east end of Montreal near the Olympic Stadium. And he meticulously taking care of this machine. And my dad, and so did I. And I've been using this machine for the past almost 20 years after my dad. And I took care of it. I cleaned it out. I degreased it, cleaned it out. I didn't do anything. Everything's original. The only thing that's not original is the bag. I managed to find one on eBay. Cost me 25 bucks at the time, which was about 10 years ago. I clean it once a year. I put it in the laundry and clean it in my washing machine. And I had to change the wheel because the other wheel were worn out, after 47 years. So I found these at a John Deere tractor supply, and I got the big one for the back and the small ones like they were. And the reason these things don't rust is because it's all aluminum deck, okay? I gave it a touch-up first coat of paint about 10 years ago. It wasn't scratched or anything, just that I wanted to make it a nice first coat of paint. So I managed to get the same color and paint it all up, but everything else is original. The only thing that I did was the wheel, the bag, and spark plug. That's it. And, these things are, you mix the gas, which is 30-1, and the fuel with the oil, that's what it is. And you clean the filter once a year, which is a sponge filter. You rinse it in gasoline. So what I do, I close the fuel filter after each use to empty the carburetor so they can get, the fuel that can get stagnated into the carburetor. So every time I finish using it, I burn the fuel in the carburetor, and that's it. And that's what makes these things last so long. But it's also the engine. It's an outboard marine engine, a two-cycle. And, they're small engines. They're not big. If you look at the engines, they're small. It's not a big engine, okay? The cover makes it look big, but it's not. It's a real small engine, look. And this thing is lightweight, all aluminum. Look, I'm taking this with 2 fingers. Look, I can maneuver it, look, with 2 fingers. It's so light. Look, I'm pushing it with one hand. It's light, okay? And I have a full bag of grass here. Now, this machine has a mulcher, which is really nice, that came with it. See? So you have your main blade and your mulcher. And it cut the grass in more small pieces, but I picked it up. And, I don't have the best grass, but it makes your grass look like a golf course. Look at that, okay? The way it cuts it, I don't know why, but for some reason, Lawnboys, compared to my Honda, cut it like a golf course, okay? Look at the cut. You see? So I can make you get a better view here. It's a very, very different cut, okay? So I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I noticed that from certain lawnmowers, but it's a very nice cut. So, like I'm saying, this is a 1978, 47 years old, still working. And, and in this day and age where we became a disposable society, you try to maintain these things. They say, oh, it pollutes and so on. Yeah, okay, it pollutes, but it's no better than lithium batteries. I mean, what could it take to dig out the lithium, to mine it, and to produce it? How much that pollutes, right? People don't see that side. So if something can last and you don't throw it in the dump after 4 years and fill our landfill with garbage, and this is running after 48 years or 47 years, I mean, what did that to say? My truck here, 2010, still running, no issues, okay? It got over 250,000 kilometers, and I'm still riding that truck. Look, and I maintain it, I oil it, I drove it for 5 years in the winter after I started using it less in the winter, but it's still running, no rust. The inside like new. When you maintain and take care of your thing, it lasts forever. So that's what I'm saying. Instead of, like today, you buy something like a fridge or stove, you'd be lucky if you get 5 years out of it, I mean, I got a Speed Queen, like another story. My Speed Queen washer dryer is still running, that belonged to my mom for years. You don't get quality like this anymore. So that's what I want to say. That's what my beef is today. So other than that, I wish you guys a great day.